Hey, I'm Dr. Mark Rosenberg, and welcome to 2014. It's a new year, and today I want to talk to you about goal setting. To me, goal setting is different than having resolutions. Resolutions almost has a negative connotation to me. Resolutions are things you won't do, or maybe you'll lose weight. It's kind of negative. I like to think of goals of things I wish to achieve, and I can tell you unequivocally that every year that I've written down goals, and I've forgotten a few years, I always achieve whatever it is I write down. So you can get a piece of paper, you can get a blackboard, you can do it on your iPad, you can do it on your computer. I put down 2014 and I write down physical goals, financial goals, what I want to do by the end of the year. And then I put down when I wish to achieve it by. Sometimes I make the goal ahead of time, sometimes after, but at least it gives me something to shoot for. When I was a kid, I'll tell you how I got into this. When I was a kid, I started martial arts, and I tried very hard. I really wanted to be good at it. And after about 6 months, my teacher flat out told me that I sucked. It hurt emotionally, but intellectually I knew he was correct because I could see a big difference in what I was doing as a budding martial artist and what other people who were the same age and same grade as me were doing. My practice methods were not right, so I needed to break everything down. So I realized I wanted to start with my kicks. That was the part that he corrected the most. I would start with a kick, and I would do 100. I would write down I'm going to do 100 kicks of each of those kicks a day. Until they were perfected. And ultimately, I started doing not 100 kicks a day, but 1,500 to 2,000 kicks a day. And my kicks improved quite a bit to the point where my teacher told me that my kicks were as good as his, and that was quite the compliment. The years that it took to get up to that, he also wouldn't say much, which actually, from traditional martial arts, when the teacher doesn't say anything, that's a good sign. Okay, when nothing is said, that means you're improving. Anyway, which brings me to my second big goal. By the time I was about 18, my legs were pretty ripped, I was pretty tight, and my stretch was actually degrading, and I was getting a lot of injuries, my knees, my ankles, my hamstrings, my quads. And one of the things I really neglected was my stretching. So I needed to set down my goals. So I think it was 1978. I wrote down what my goals were to achieve the full lotus, the full splits, the plow, all these stretches by the end of the year. Well, because I was so hooked on karate, I didn't pay attention to that. And by December, I hadn't achieved any of my goals with stretching. And I realized there was like a time bomb in my head that went off and says, Mark, you're messing up here. So I stopped doing karate for the month of December, and I locked myself in my bedroom, and I stretched 3 to 4 45-minute sessions a day. I'd do it before school, after school. I would sit on the floor and I would just stretch, and I would only focus on those stretches I could not do. That was the key. I worked on the stretches I could not do. After a month, January 1st came, the next class, I went down to class, and some of my black belt buddies said to me, where you been? And I said, I had some things to take care of. When we started working out, we used to do these drills where you throw a kick and the other person would do a block, and they'd step back a certain amount. And one of my fellow black belt said to me, your leg's like a foot longer, I have to step back further. And I thought that was an interesting comment because the only thing I did was focus on my stretch. So I was a bit of a procrastinator with that, but that gave me great positive feedback for goal setting. So subsequently, most years since I was 18, I'm 54 now, I've written down my goals and I've achieved them. So I encourage you to write down what it is you wish to achieve this year. Couch it in the positive. Don't say, I won't do this. Say what you will do. So that way your body responds. By the way, positive reinforcement has been shown to be much better. If you're walking across the street and you're not holding your child's hand and there's a car coming, they start to run, and you say, don't run. The child doesn't hear don't, they run. You say, come here, and the child comes to you. So you want to give your nervous system and your energy system positive response. And there's a deep-rooted philosophical reason for goal setting and why it works, and I'll tell you what it is. In Chinese philosophy, it's stated that Li precedes Qi. What the heck does that mean? Li, L-I, means idea or notion. And it precedes Qi, which is the physical manifestation of anything. So before you really do anything, you have to have an idea of what it is, what you want to do. So an architect of a house has to have an idea before he sits down at his drafting table or his computer. He has to sit down and has to have an idea, that Li, before he could do the physical manifestation of the drawing, the rendition of the house, and then it becomes a physical reality. So you, my friends, are the architecture of your life. So write down your goals for this year. Be the architecture. Write down some things that are realistic, some things that aren't realistic. See what you could do. Like, whatever it may be. You know, you might want to get into the splits because I get a lot of questions about that. You may want to stay injury-free, but write down your goals. You could check in on them a few times during the year, and you'll find it's like a little alarm clock that goes off in your head. Well, gee, I haven't worked on that in a while. I think I should sit down and work on that. One of my goals for 2014 was to sit down on my computer and make more videos for you. Okay, so that said, have a happy and a healthy new year, and let's get started.